billion instead of 200 billion which had been collected the previous year. The following year it went to 500 billion. 750, it reached 1 trillion shillings. Without increasing taxes, just plugging the holes where it was leaking, we increased revenue. We reached a stage where we are able to finance all our requirements, all the development projects. To 95% was being financed from domestic revenue. Only 5% was coming from out of the country. Yeah? Neither. Then on procurement side, we found under the Moi system, there was a procurement rule that said that any procurement above 100,000 shillings in value must be done competitively. You must advertise in at least 3 newspapers. There must be at least 3 bidders. And you procure competitively. You go for the lowest bidder. We found that because in each and every ministry, there was a procurement officer seconded from the treasury who was in charge. We found that each and every procurement officer had 3 companies registered. And there was the kind of collusion. The one in health is supplying education. The one in education is supplying trade and commerce. The one there is supplying agriculture. The one in agriculture is supplying health and so on and so forth. So if there's a tender, you'll get 3 bids, all of them from actually one person. And the prices were inflated. An item which is supposed to be bought at 100,000 shillings is bought at 5 million shillings. And that's where the government was losing money. The government was leaking. So once we subjected all these procurement officers to lifestyle audit and sacked some of them, because the government was now procuring competitively. The prices became less, so the government was able to get more. And that is how we succeeded. You see that the government of Kibaki succeeded. It succeeded because of what we did. Right now, first the civil service is demoralized. They are bringing people from outside the civil service, being made permanent secretaries. Somebody who has never even been to Kabete to be trained in administration, does not know how civil service is working, is being recruited and made in there. It's just so and so, so long as it's from my tribe. From my tribe. These things are not going to get better because these people are actually messing up. They don't know how to run a competitive economy. They will not, things will not change. And you cannot be one person, you're Mr. President. You are the permanent secretary in all ministries. You are the minister in all ministries. You know everything. Even if El Nino is coming, you're the one who knows the El Nino is not coming. The work which should be done by the director of meteorology is being done by you as a president. Everything, you must be talking about on everything. Even if it's somebody's wife, the Nini, did not dress properly, you're the one who know. So this is where we have a problem. And so these people, they don't know that they don't know. And we are not ready to advise them because they know everything. Okay? Because they know everything. So you people have a responsibility to sensitize the people. So now, chance is no longer the cheapest. A vacuum is building down there, which Kenya can actually fill with proper policies. But you cannot do it if you've got mediocrity and the kind of rogues and thieves running our affairs. These thieves will take us nowhere. The cost of living, which Jim is talking about here, will not go down when these thieves are in charge. This cost of living will not go down. You see, today, people are suffering all over. If those who are saying that demonstration by Azimio inaharibu biashara yetu, leo wanakuja wanasema baba yuko wapi? Na baba ako kimya. He's not talking. Because they say that demonstrations are destroying our businesses. No, their businesses are being destroyed not by demonstrations, but through taxation. Taxation. Sasa umbwa anakula watoto yake. Si umbwa anakula watoto yake. Sasa wasema ati mkuki kwa nguruwe, kwa binadamu ni chungu. So sisi, we were here. Manake walisema wao ni wanajua vile watafanya. Ati hii deni ilichukuliwa mingi, all this time, all rubbish. Now they were saying that the cost of fuel. I showed Babu yesterday a gazette in the Tanzanian newspaper showing how they're reducing the cost of fuel, of petrol, of diesel, of paraffin. And they're saying that because of the war in the Middle East, Israel and Palestine, the cost of fuel has gone down. Here, Shirishiri is telling you, because of that war, the cost of fuel has gone up. Yeah, the source where Tanzania is buying is the same source where Kenya is also buying. Who is fooling who? So you see, the reason why the cost of fuel is up is very different. They killed what is called OTS, where there used to be an open tender system where all the oil companies will come and bid to supply the fuel. And when the tender has been opened, the cheapest is awarded and goes and brings it. They came up with what they're calling G2G, that themselves are now buying directly from Abu Dhabi and from Saudi Arabia. But they themselves are the ones who are making the commissions. That's why the cost of fuel is going up. That money is actually ending up in the pockets of the same people here. Umbwa inakula watoto yake. Thank you so much, and I feel very delighted to have an opportunity to meet with you this morning. I was somehow ambushed, but I said, yes, I'm ready to meet them and see them, their faces. So I've heard so many things that you guys have talked about. I noted the issue of funding of the education in the country, the funding model, the disbursement. You talked of the cost of living. You talked of mental health in the university, which is now acute. You talked about police brutality, academic freedom. Then you also talked about the electoral process, universal suffrage. You talked about the girl student and the problems that they face. You talked about insecurity in the institutions. Then you talked about involvement in decision making. And of course the funding model and so on. And yeah, then generally the fear that you talked about. You see, it is Shakespeare who said in Julius Caesar that I don't know why you should fear death, that death is a natural evil that will come when it will come, that cowards die so many times before their death, but the brave don't taste of death but once. But another friend of mine said, you should never fear at all. If you are sick, you should not fear, because you'll either be treated and you'll recover, or you will die. If you recover, you don't need to fear anything. But even if you die, you don't need to fear. Because when you go up there, you will either go to heaven or go to hell. When you go to heaven,